was like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back. All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
I will be back here. I will be back here. I will be back with vengeance.
I saw all these people die.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Doing whatever it takes. I like this one.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Niners Sickness Podcast. I have a special guest today. A lot of you already know who my guest is. We've been on the show before. My boy Rudy, he's a Rams fan. The Rams are playing good football right now. They're healthy. We lost to them earlier in the year. And we played a depleted, hurt Rams without the receivers, and we took the L. Now we're playing on live Thursday night football, short week. Both teams coming on big victories. Who will win the game on Thursday? Will it be the Los Angeles Rams, or will it be the San Francisco 49ers? We're going to talk about that and more right after this.
Trying to set up the screen, he's in trouble, down he goes. He's into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, another spectacular touchdown. He caught it, touchdown pass, Catalan. One of the greatest finishes in 49er history. Toss to McCaffrey, and he runs out across the 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone! It is intercepted! The 49ers have the football! Touchdown! He's into the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers! San Francisco!
Let's go. We got our guest, Senor Rudy from the LA Rams fan. Rudy, how are we doing today, my friend? Rudy muted himself again. Rudy.
Testing. Can you hear me?
There you are.
There we
friend.
go. It wasn't even muted. Whatever. It's fine. How you doing, man? Thank you for having me. It's good to collab. I wish I wasn't at work so we could have collabed earlier with the other guys, with the other your other podcasts.
No,
fellas.
no worries. We're here now. That's all that matters, brother.
Yeah.
We have a great game going on this Thursday on a short week. Both teams coming off a huge win. You guys battled it out in LA at SoFi against the Buffalo Bills. Matthew Stafford against Josh Allen. What a duel! Listen, I don't. People don't have to be a Rams fan or Buffalo fan to enjoy good football. If you are an offensive type of person and you don't care too much about defense, you guys loved this game between the Rams and Buffalo. Both defense couldn't stop each other, but there was fire, power on both sides of the ball. What a game. Rudy, were you there in person or did you watch it on TV?
With Christmas and everything, and money's tight, I could have went, and I wish I would have went. I've been good luck when we go. We usually win, but no, I didn't go. My buddies went, and one of my buddies couldn't go, and I go, no, I can't go, man, because we had just went to Disneyland, spent a lot of money, and with Christmas and stuff, money's tight. So I wish I would have went though, in hindsight, but. It's okay, but it was a good game. I got the sometimes it's nice to watch it at the crib with your big old TV and your food right there next to you.
Yeah, you don't have to wait long for the line in the bathroom either.
And then my buddies like to go early, man. So like, let's say it's a 1:00 game, they're leaving at 7:30.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. They want to get the beer in.
Yeah,
they want to be ready to pass out before the kickoff goes off.
I tell my buddy, one of my best friends, I go, "Hey, cabron, can you remember what happened in the game?"
Yeah. He was like, I remember they kicked the ball away and we won. Anything in between, you got to fill it in.
You're gonna watch the replay.
Yeah, you got to watch the replay. I just want to welcome into all the Ram fans that are coming in through Rudy's channel, the Remilia Sports Report. Welcome, and we got my boys and sisters and the Niners Sickness podcast. Welcome as well. Oh my goodness, what a game!
And I want to say something too, real quick before we start, Beto. Respectfully,
Yeah.
Me and my Beto, we're like brothers. Like, you guys got to hear a side of us when we're like, if we're with each other, we're talking smack to each other, getting each other's skin, and sometimes like brothers, you say things you don't mean. But he is my friend. He's a friend of my channel. And he's a good brother. So, and he's a Laker fan too, just so you guys know. But everyone be respectful. It's about the team.
F the Dodgers.
But just we're here to talk Rams and Niners, and just so you guys know, because we want to just keep it in football and keep it rolling. The back and forth stuff don't make any sense. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, let's get rid of LeBron. We can agree on that.
Yes.
That's another show that we can do together, bro. Talk about our Lakers.
And I can't believe that JD Redick's a damn coach, man. The JD Redick.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a 2-hour show right there.
You got Pat Riley, the guy from the Bulls, name what's his face? They won with Kobe.
I can't think of his name.
It's been so long. And then the other guys don't matter.
Yeah.
Even Byron Scott was a coach.
I can't think of his name, but yeah.
Phil Jackson. There you go.
Jackson, yeah. Huge. Totally. Phil Jackson. Phil, not Hugh. I'm thinking about the head coach of the late Browns. Or Raiders. But man, Rudy. So before I jump about my Niners against the, who did we play?
The Bears.
The Bears. Oh my goodness! Before we get into that, tell me a little bit what you thought about your team. What were your thoughts? What was your thought process coming into playing the Buffalo Bills? Who, the weather was no excuses. The weather was a little crazy in Buffalo the week before, but the Bills put an ass whipping on us, 35-10, coming into SoFi to play you guys.
And you guys were beat up. You guys were beat up. It wasn't a fair fight anyway, but and Josh Allen was at home and the weather. But I was telling Stockton this, like that's the hardest game of the last games that we have because of Josh Allen. And I was saying it like this: the Rams finally have their O line together, the trenches, but also we had 4 of the 5 guys against the Eagles. But guess what? They hadn't played all year together in a real game, so the Eagles were basic stunting, and they were getting in Stafford's ass. So we couldn't do nothing on the offense. And then there goes Saquon Barkley. So I would love a rematch with them if we get them in the championship game, if we can make the playoffs. But I was saying this: we got our guys back, but wait, they haven't played. There's no cohesiveness. So now the flashback past the Saints, kind of a weird game, a struggling game, but the guys are finding themselves on the offensive line. Now we have the Bills, and the offensive line look wonderful. 0 sacks. You had Cooper Kupp at sometimes blocking Von Miller. Great cohesive now. Now we're ready to roll to get to the playoffs. And I was saying this, Beto, that there's 2 things. The Rams are due to play a full game, and they did. And the Bills are due to lose because they won 7 in a row. So,
Yeah.
And if you give Matthew Stafford time to operate, he can pick anybody apart. So that's why I like our chances in that game.
Yeah. You guys were actually a complete team. And I honestly, I did not expect you guys to play the way you guys played against Buffalo. Was I certain that Buffalo would have won that game? Probably not. That I lean, obviously, as a Niner fan, I lean more to Buffalo. But when I saw the score, was I surprised? Absolutely not.
You know what's frustrating, Beto? You know what's frustrating is me and you both see how the referees don't give us our calls, holding when they had when we had
if you're not Kansas City, bro, you're not getting nothing.
When we had AD, holding, and you guys with Bosa, they did give us one gift at the end of the game where Havenstein went off sides, but they gave us a Kansas City Chiefs call, didn't call it. But what was frustrating, Beto, as great as Josh Allen played, and he still had to make the plays, they gave us I don't know if you saw it.
No, I haven't.
Jared Verse, or Byron Young rather, was, how Josh Allen likes to go to the sidelines and then throw the ball real quick off his back foot, or like fake you out and then take off running. Byron Young hit him on the sidelines, a good pop. Not beyond the sidelines, but on the sidelines in the field of play. That was 3rd down, and they gave him back the ball, and they called roughing the passer. What the hell is that? And so they were able to continue the drive, and they got a touchdown. Okay. And so to their credit, they made the most of it. But then there was also a little screen pass that went for another 7 points, and they grabbed their guy by the shoulder, the holding, and they didn't call that. So they got 14 points because we were up by 17 points at one point. And so without those calls, it could have been a much easier day. But I'm glad we got the W. It looks like the Bills are getting calls like the Kansas City Chiefs, so they're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. And we did get some calls too, so we got that one at the end, the Havenstein vote. But a lot of Ram fans are like, well, we deserve that because of the other bullshit. So we'll take it.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Man, the calls are the referees, bro. I'm telling you, the referees,
they're horrible, man.
Might as well be wearing Chiefs jerseys, because I'm like, I don't know if there's a team this year that the offensive line has been offside more than the Chiefs without penalties. It's unbelievable, bro. It's like, and the referees are looking right at the right tackle, see what he does, and act like they're picking their nose and they don't know what's going on. And they look. It's almost like the referees look at Patrick Mahomes like, "Do you want us to call it or not?"
Look at me and you don't blame the refs. We explain what's going on because we believe that we shouldn't put ourselves in that situation. Like last year in the playoffs against the Lions, we were in the red zone and couldn't score touchdowns. That's our fault. But then when you need a call and the guy's grabbing a Puka Naku's jersey to put us in field goal position and you don't call it, and because they're at Detroit, that's BS, So, that's frustrating because their 10-7 Rams last year could have eliminated the Lions, but it's a good story. Who knows if the NFL wanted them to win? I don't believe any conspiracies, but that Puka Nacua had a breakthrough year. What does it take for a guy to get a call? But it's our fault for not scoring the red zone too. So but yeah, the referees have been really bad over the years.
Robert says, "Will Tyler Huckabee will he play Thursday?"
Tyler Higbee,
yeah,
to
Tyler
Tyler
Higbee, yeah.
Higbee. They haven't fully announced it, but that's what they were doing. He played all last week in practice, all last week rather, and so they're working towards bringing him back, and that's a big upgrade at the tight end position, Beto, because even if he's 70% of what he was after the injury, he's better than what we have right now. Even though we have some guys that are trying, they're not Tyler Higbee.
Gotcha. And real quick, Rudy, I am bringing up a lot of your comments of your fan base. The one that I'm not bringing up, in case you get questioned, is Stockton. He's just going off crazy stuff, saying things about the Niner fans that are disrespectful. So,
No, well, I mean, it's your show,
but I am bringing like if he does bring like I'm reading the comments. If he says something that even if he talks bad about the Niners, I'll bring that up. No big deal.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
personal attacks. Let's be cool. Like
No, yeah, we don't want that. That's
he
good. My
just
guy
told
Stockton.
CGA, sit back and shut your mouth. I don't know. I'm not going to bring that up. So I said it. Shouldn't even read
Okay.
it. But so if you don't see me, like just to let you know. But definitely bringing up your comments for your fan base.
Well, I want to say something too that I saw that CG Ruthless was talking about Corey Davis too, and so whenever me and you get together, I remember Corey Davis, and I just want to bring him into light because I know you got to meet him, and
Yes.
he's a big fan. And rest in peace, Corey
Talking
Davis.
negative?
And no, he was talking. He was saying that he was glad to meet him and stuff.
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah,
that's all.
about to
It
bounce
was
him
nothing
out.
negative. No, it wasn't.
I
I wouldn't have brought it
I
up
don't
if
care
he
if
did.
you're a Niner fan or not.
No, he was
You're
a good
God.
dude, man, and I'm
I
really envious.
I love anybody that talks about Davis is it's not gonna
Yeah.
it's not gonna work for me because Niner fans or anyone because I met him, great guy. He loved his Niners, but he was never disrespectful. Always respected.
No, he was
everybody.
a really good guy. I wish I would have met him in person, and but yeah, I just want to bring that to light, and
Appreciate that, brother.
But also too on that note too,
Corey's awesome.
Travarius Ward and Trent Williams, man, with their losses, man, that their personal losses. I didn't realize that Trent Williams lost 2 babies.
Yeah, twins.
Bring that to light real quick because I didn't know the whole story on Trent Williams. Not that just that he's hurt. If I was him, I might sit out to be with my family. Same thing maybe with Travarius Ward. Bring that to light real quick about those 2 guys.
Travarius Ward has already played 2 games, I think.
Yeah, he's already played.
And so he's kind of like using the game to try to, I don't know them personally. I'm assuming to kind of get his mind off of things like that. It's like any parent should never, ever bury their child. It should always be the child to bury the parent. And the fact that Travarius Ward had to bury his daughter, my heart. I don't care if you're a Rams fan, Cowboys fan. You can be not a fan, or even a fan, but a player of the team that I can hate the most. Life is a life, man, and I know we all love to talk crap and smack to one another in our teams, but these are human beings, and sometimes we forget that they're human, right? That they're athletes on TV making millions of dollars, and sometimes we disconnect with them in a sense that are like, I've heard Niner fans say, "Get over it, Travarius, and come and play. We need you." And I'm like, get over it? If he didn't play for the rest of the year, I will be okay with that. Because screw winning games. He lost his child. That's just me and my perspective. Now, Trent Williams, I haven't really gone deep into this, so I could be incorrect. If Niner fans know a little bit more than me, please correct me. I got no problem with that. But for what I heard, and I can be, again, this is not double checked at all. He lost one at stillborn, and then the other one they were able to bring it, but didn't last long after. For what I'm hearing, but I'm not 100% correct on that. But he did lose both child.
That sucks.
And that's
Okay.
that's devastating, bro. And I don't care who you are, what team you play for. When you lose a loved one, it's sometimes coming back from an injury, Rudy. Sometimes it can be emotional, and you can have a heart. But dealing with a death, especially if a
Yeah.
child, bro. Even if you play like Chaveras is playing, how do you expect a player to play their 100% when they're going through something as awful as that, my friend?
Yeah, and I brought it up because besides the injuries, Travis Ward, he has played, but the one I was really talking about was Trent Williams, because besides being, I guess he got an ankle or something. I'm not sure what his injury is, but um, his mind cannot be on the game. Two of them, and one is bad enough, and then his wife is at home by herself while he's on the road or get playing, and so, and then who knows, maybe he'll retire. That's in
Yeah,
the off season, because your family's the most important thing, and they're
absolutely.
going through something. So I just brought that up because he's a big cog in the Niners. Forget this year for a second. The future plans. So both of our teams, we have to make a decision on Cooper Kupp. We'll see how we finish, and Matthew Stafford. We still need him another year because he's signed already for another year through this year. So, but anyway, let's get to the game. I just wanted you to bring that. I wanted
No,
to bring that up because
I appreciate you make a valid point, and thank you for bringing that up because regardless, like if he decides to retire as a fan, I'd be like, man, he's an anchor
yeah,
at that side. But I completely understand because family and life is way before football. And anybody that takes football first, I really would have to suggest to see a psychologist, or someone, whatever,
yeah,
because there's some issues there. Or you're probably young and don't have a family. But whatever he decides to do, bro, I support him 100%. Do I want him to retire? No, but take care of your wife, take care of your other children, and handle your business. Niners
yep,
should be secondary or even last thing on his mind. So if he plays this year, we'll see what he does. If he doesn't, I have his back 100%. Same thing with Chaveras Ward. I did not want him to come back until he was ready. And how do
yeah.
you get ready after losing a child? So that's hard, bro. So I appreciate you bringing it up, bro. But we are gonna talk football. The Niners beat the Bears. The Niners haven't played this year. We have doubt with a lot of injuries, and I'm not saying there's excuses, but they are reality. Injuries are part of the game, but they do affect how you play your season out. And we dealt with a lot of injuries on defense and on offense. We haven't been able to stop the run well because we lost Javon Hargrave from the start. Hofanga has been out. Greenlaw might be back for this game, but he's been out all year. Even if he's back, you don't just get back to where you left off. There's a progress of ramping up. As you said earlier about your offensive line starting to ramp up together.
Yeah.
And there's a process. It's just not like, you haven't played for a whole year and you play one game and you expect to play the way you played MVP. So we'll see how he does. Offensive line, we've been juggling our offensive line as well there. And we're in our fourth running back due to injuries. Christian McCaffrey's been out all year, and then he came back for a little bit. He finally started to get his feet underneath him against Buffalo, and then he got hurt and was out. And it's a shame, but you still got to play football, and you still got to find a way to come out with a W. It's going to be interesting to see how things go against the Rams this Thursday because you got arguably two great play callers. Regardless of whoever in the chat believes who's better than who, to me it doesn't matter, but there are two good offensive coordinators in Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, and they're going to bring it up. McVay called a great game plan against the Bills and was able to keep up with that offense. We're gonna need our defense we talked about this prior to coming on, Rudy. We're gonna have to disrupt Matthew Stafford. We're gonna have to keep him on his heels. We cannot let him set his feet and let his players get to the spots they need to go. Because if we allow that, it's gonna be a long day and there's gonna be a lot of points. It's not gonna be from us. And another thing, against the Bears, prior to the Bear game, we were last year we were number one in the red zone. This year, we have not, because of injuries, whatever it is. We've been doing field goals instead of touchdowns in this game against the Bears. And their Bears offense, Rudy, we know they're trash. Caleb Williams, he's your guy but he's young and he's holding the ball. I think he's the most sacked quarterback all season.
Yeah.
And their offense is trash, but their defense has been decent to good all year. And the Niners, Kyle Shanahan finally took his head out of his butt and started calling screenplays, started calling different other plays, used Kittle more. And we looked like last year's offense, the way we were putting points. They have to come out like that against your defense. If not, it's going to be a long game on Thursday.
If Guerrero doesn't play, who's the other running back? That Mason's hurt, CMC's out. Well, Mason's on IR, CMC's on IR. Guerrero, he probably will play because he's a young guy. He has a foot injury.
It's just a sprain. They
sprain.
said a little sprain on his foot. So, but you're running, you got to do your cuts. So a sprain can be small or it can be big. So it's I can't think of his name. And then we took a player off of the I want to say the Packers, but I'm not quite sure. I can't pronounce his last name. I will butcher it up even if I read
It's
it.
okay.
I still mess it up, but he hasn't played yet. And so number 32 is the number. If anybody in the chat, Niner fans, if you guys can bring up the name, I would appreciate it. But I'm hoping Guerrero goes because I heard it's going to be raining in that game, and we need to get the ball out of Brock's hands into the arms of our running back.
That's right. So your favorite guy, Grant Cohn, always mentions.
No,
I know. I say that because I know he's not.
No, you're being sarcastic. I know.
No, but I say that just because the point of Brock Purdy with the bad weather, and if it's going to be bad weather, he hasn't played good in bad weather especially if it's rainy. So that might be a factor in the game. We'll see. I wish that both teams were healthy and that way there's no, this is going to be the third straight game where you guys have played us and you guys are banged up for the most part. We are getting our guys back. Tyler Higbee will be back. You guys get Greenlaw, but he hasn't played. Tyler Higbee hasn't played, but just him being out there might be a boost for the offense. But our secondary, Beto, man, that's what worries me. They should be. Darius Williams is not a shadow of himself that he used to play with us the first time, and Witherspoon isn't playing as good as he did last year. So we kind of have to sub one in, sub one out to see who's hot. Linebackers, Omar Spates has been a great find. When Reader got hurt, he came in and he's a lot more athletic and more physical. And so we're a little bit better at linebacker, but still, still that's not one of our strengths. What about Fred Ward's foot or ankle? What does he have? Some kind of injury that he was saying about in the media, and he has slowed down a little bit.
Fred Warner?
Yeah.
No, he's fine.
He's okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a little injured, but like he said, this is not going to hold me back. And he had a hell of a game against the Bears. So, and I expect him to be more pumped up when Greenlaw comes back if he plays, because that's his boy, that's his partner. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
In the Bears game, Tanoa Hufanga, you know who he is based on college. He played this kid, came back, and he changed the atmosphere in the secondary. And sometimes you bring players, even if they don't do much individually, just their being present on the field can change the attitude of a whole defense or a whole offense. And I think Greenlaw would do that just as Hufanga did last week, his first week back from injury. This will be his second game. He was very effective with the young kid, Mustafa, back there. Our secondary is pretty good. Our secondary is pretty good. Our linebacker, we've been struggling because we haven't had Greenlaw, and Fred Warner seems to do everything back there. And I forgot about the name of number 59. I don't even care to remember his name anyway. The kid that came from Greenlaw, he's
Ca-
terrible.
Campbell.
Yeah, yeah.
Campbell.
No, I know his name, but I don't. Yeah, I just say I
Yeah,
forget. But he
it's
had a
not.
good
It's not
game.
worth it to remember.
No, he did have a good game against the Bears, but it's not consistent. I don't care
Yeah.
about a 1 day one. I need consistency when Fred
Hmm.
Warner's kicking his butt out there working every game. So uh, we'll see what happens. Maybe he knows Greenlaw's getting healthier and he's like, oh crap, let me start playing. I don't know what it is,
Hmm.
but what I was excited was sorry about my birds. I
It's
had to
okay.
move them into my in my office. My wife says, "Move your birds to your office, and I move you out of the house."
My lady has
Um,
birds too on the other side.
yeah. So I the Niners they're going to have to play smart. They're dealing with injuries, but there's no excuse if we lose on Thursday to the Rams. We can't use excuses of injuries. You play with what you have. You got to call a better game plan when you don't have all your guys on deck, and you got to figure other ways how to uh, attack the Rams. And I think if we play the way we play against the Bears, I just hope that neither team comes in flying on cloud nine because it's going to be an ugly game where you guys are coming off a great victory and you guys are full of, or the Niners coming off a big victory. We're full of ourselves. I hope they're down to earth and they have a good game. But the Rams and Niners always play each other well. They always
Mm.
play each other well. And Debo hasn't been the same Debo all season. But one thing I do know about Debo, he has good games against the Rams.
That's what I was going to say. Is this a game that he gets he flashes back to his old because you guys are missing other
You
running backs.
or
Your one
running back,
running
yeah.
back, so
Well,
maybe they'll use him.
remember John Taylor in their 80s?
Uh-huh.
John Taylor wasn't always had great games, or Jerry Rice, but against the Rams back
Yeah,
in the 80s, he stepped up. So Debo kind of reminds me a little bit of John Taylor when it comes to the Rams. But we'll see. We'll see
yeah.
what Debo can do. I do like, as a Florida State Seminole, I love Verse. I love
Oh
Fisk.
man.
And I told you, remember before the season start,
Yep.
keep an eye on these guys. He's not. Fisk is not going to replace Aaron Donald anytime soon, but he's
No.
going to ease the pain of a little bit
Yeah.
of not
It's a
having him there.
committee.
Yes.
It's production by committee. Um, Jared Verse is probably almost a lock to win the D Roy unless they steal it from him like they did Kobe Turner last year.
I
They
was
give
going to
it
say
to the
that.
Texans guy. And then you have next up and runner up is Jared Fisk because he's been coming on the last 3-4 games, and but these two guys with Byron Young on the other side and Kobe Turner in the middle, they're coming on, and the secondary. We need to draft a defensive back next year in the draft, and Kobe Turner might not play this game. He's got a lung contusion, the land shark, and so we got this guy Emmanuel Forbes from the Commanders. They let him go. He was a former first round pick, so maybe he'll pull a Witherspoon and play well for us. And so he might get the nod and start over because Turner's Kobe Durant rather is hurt with the lung contusion. So that's one thing to look at as well. But I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to Tyler Higbee being in there, and
How many games have he missed? How long has he been out?
he's been gone all year.
So he's like Greenlaw.
Yeah, all year. All year he's been
Okay.
gone. So imagine the season when you're looking forward to. Well, we revamped our whole line. First game, left tackle Larry Jackson couldn't play the first two games for undisclosed. They suspended him, undisclosed, and then one of our offensive linemen got hurt in the first game against the overtime loss to the Lions, and then Higbee was out the whole year. Puka and Cup both were hurt, and here we are fighting to still win the division. So, and we're barely getting our guys back. So, the Rams are no stranger to injuries, but they've overcome it, and they won a Super Bowl with a bunch of injuries. So, it's now that we're back, people are seem to be surprised that the Rams have all their guys. They're really good, and so but anyway, that's one thing about the Rams is if you have all your guys on the table, they could beat anyone, and you saw that against the Bills. And but I did see a comment too. They were talking about Kansas City. Well, Kansas City wouldn't let that happen. Well, if everybody remembers the LA game, Golf versus Mahomes, 51-54,
Kansas
they
City
can
has
be
not been
beat.
playing good football this year, bro. They just get
No,
lucky.
but they said they made a comment. They're on the Kansas City's jock. They should have lost if there was a team that had a Matthew Stafford or that could close them out. They would have got closed out. But anyway, who are you excited to see in the matchups in this game, Bethel?
Um, wow.
Or looking forward to seeing?
I'm hoping Nick Bosa will be back for this game.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like he will, but there's not 100% sure yet. It's going to be a game day thing, so we'll see what happens there. I'm looking forward to see our left tackle, Jalen Moore, continue to protect Brock Purdy's blind side, especially Trent Williams. And I do not expect Trent Williams to be in this game at all. You guys have some young pass rushers that are hungry, and you guys do a lot of stunts. And so I'm excited to see what Jalen Moore can do. I'm not expecting him to shut down your defense, but I expect him to at least win, lose some, win some type of mentality. Just don't get your ass buried by these defenders. So that's who I want to see, honestly, in people in the chat or anybody can disagree with me. I want to see a duel between Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford, kind of like the Josh Allen, because it's always exciting to see that. And we're lacking a receiver, but for us, JJ has stepping up. Jawan Jennings has stepping up. He's been a 7th round pick, and he's little by little getting better. He's been our 3rd receiver. Now he stepped up, and he's playing good football. Kittle's playing good. So
who's the third? Who's the third target? That you guys, the new guy that got shot. What's his name?
Ricky Parcell is our third. Yeah. So you got Debo, Jawan Jennings, and then Ricky Parcell.
Okay.
That is playing 3rd receiver, and we're missing Brandon. Man, there's no if or buts. The connection that Brock had, and listen, a lot of so-called talking heads, and they do it to your Rams too, bro. They talk all their smack about how Brock Purdy can win without the Avengers. He falls apart without the Avengers, right? Like, he needs Debo, he needs Ayuk, he needs Christian McCaffrey. Well, he had hardly no Avengers at all. Trent Williams was out, Christian McCaffrey was out, Ayuk was out. He had his 3rd running back, and then he went out, and they put a clinic on the Bears defense. So I'm happy for Brock. I want to see more consistency. And for the Niner fans that think he's not going to get signed, I've heard Niner fans say, bro, we need to find a better quarterback. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. And I give it. He isn't. He isn't at that level. I understand that.
You can't find where can you find that kind of quarterback?
Yeah,
you can't find a quarterback.
It's hard to find those kind of quarterbacks, and then when you get someone like Brock Purdy that works well with Kyle and what Kyle calls, it's hard to replace someone like that. Yes, we want our Josh Allen. Yes, that's why we drafted Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
We drafted him because of that. We want a Patrick Mahomes, but people don't realize those guys don't fall off trees. A lot of quarterbacks have to develop into who they are, and we're getting good production from Brock. We're not. If you watch the all 22 on Brock, you'll be amazed how good he actually is.
Well, he's the best quarterback you guys have had.
Yes.
Yeah, since Shanahan's tenure.
Yes.
He's the best one.
And people, it's not enough, bro. They want the Patrick Mahomes. They want the Josh Allens. And
yeah.
it's like,
well, I mean, honestly, everyone has a right to their opinion, but honestly, Beto, we saw Matthew Stafford against the Bills, and you've seen him have really good games in other games. There's some Ram fans that want him to be the Rams to get rid of him.
Give rid of him to us if we didn't have Brock Purdy.
And so I'm like, he's older, but he's not Aaron
Did
Rodgers.
anybody see the game this Sunday?
Yeah.
Did he look old to me? Did he look old to you?
He's the guy's a gamer, but yeah, we need to get a heir apparent for sure. But there's nobody that can do what he does in the NFC. And so, but yeah, the Purdy is exactly what Kyle Shanahan needed, a guy that can, with your offensive line, the problems you've had on the right side, and Trent Williams being out, with the mobility and the scrambling, that's what you need, because otherwise, who else are you going to get into that's going to be able to get away from the pressure? It would be horrible.
He stands in the pocket.
People have their opinion,
and he's accurate. Yes, people are entitled to their opinion, just as you are, as I am, everybody in the chat. But you gotta express your opinions with common sense as well.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, you got to look at the whole picture. What if I had a chance to bring Josh Allen or have Patrick Mahomes? Of course, I would take them in a heartbeat. But that's not the reality. They're not leaving their prospective team. They are there. Matthew Stafford, whether the Niners missed out on him or not, he's not with the Niners. He's with the Rams. The reality is the Niners were not even looking at Brock Purdy. They focused everything on Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy fell on their lap. It was like here. That's why the transition of losing Trey Lance did not hit us as hard because of Brock. But if we didn't have Brock right now, we would have been talking about Trey Lance until this day right now.
Yeah. Is he hurt now? Is he fully recovered? Is he Purdy? Because he had a sore shoulder or something.
No, he's fine for the shoulder, but he got, and they penalized the defender. I want to say Stu, but it's not Stu.
I saw that. Yeah.
They charge him money. I forgot the word of it.
Find him.
They found him because he kind of like chokehold him, but he came back. He was okay.
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy. They should have kicked him out of the game.
Yeah, and they didn't. Obviously, the refs didn't do anything about it. They didn't. I don't even know if they gave us a penalty because of it, or gave them a penalty on that. But it is what it. No, he's fine. I expect him to be fine. The Niners' offense has to produce touchdowns like they did with the Bears, and they gotta do jet sweeps. They gotta do these things to try to keep your defense honest. If they don't, it's going to be a long day. And then on defense, we have to. We did a lot. I don't remember the last time we did stunts on defense, and we did so many stunts against the Bear offense that we had 7 sacks. Now, give it. Caleb loves to hold on to the ball, so those sacks, but still 7 sacks.
No, it's good.
We got to put that pressure on Matthew Stafford because, unlike Caleb Williams, Matthew Stafford doesn't know how to hold the ball for too long. The ball comes out quick, so you're not probably going to sack him at all. If we get a sack, that'll be great. But you got to get in his face. He has to feel your presence, hear those footsteps. If not, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, that's how the Eagles were able to. They kept stymieing our damn drives. We get a first down and then we punt. We get another first down, we punt. We get a good play, there's a damn penalty. And that's when our offensive line wasn't playing like they are now. But it's going to be interesting to see if the offensive line can hold up again in bad weather. And so it's supposed to be rainy and dreary and all that stuff. But I'm looking forward to seeing if Kyron Williams can keep running the ball. Like he's had a lot of good games versus the Niners and Blake Corum, man. Blake Corum, he did a Barry Sanders move and broke one of the guy's ankles in the Bills, like a basketball move. He's got a little more agility than I thought he did. He's starting to play good too. So the 2-headed monster and running back. It's going to be interesting to see that if we can keep it going, because we have to run the table. Both of our teams have to run the table to even have a chance at making
more.
Yeah,
I think you guys still have one game that you guys can give up.
Well, you guys beat the Bears, and the Bears are a weird team because I even tweeted out this, or X tweeted out this when we were playing the Bears. we kept messing around with Caleb Williams. He's going to put together a drive or two because that's when we didn't have Cup or Puka and we were horrible on offense. And so they squeaked one out against us. But we let them hang around, and we lost at Chicago. And so that's haunting us now. Imagine if we would have had that win, we would be right there with the Seahawks. But it is what it is. But they lost to the Packers by 1 point. They just barely lost to the Lions early on.
Yeah, 3 points, I think. Yeah, they've been close.
So, and then I think a lot of they're getting frustrated in the seasons. They're like they want to just finish the season now, but they still have good players. But they were tough at 1 point, and then now Caleb Williams starting to regress a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Defensive coordinators start freaking you out, and to be honest with you, bro, that whole coaching staff over there in the Bears are trash. They got to bring somebody in, someone like McVay. Hey, if the Bears can get Ben Johnson from the Lions, then I can see Caleb Williams really flourishing with those receivers there. But they need someone of that caliber coaching mind. If they don't, then the Bears are always going to be who they are, trash. You know what I mean? So they got to get good coaching staff. They have to go for a big name. They can't get someone that it's not, maybe not proven, but at least capable of. And they got to stay away from defensive coordinator. I don't like hiring defensive
head coaches.
Head coaches. I don't.
Yeah,
I really don't. I'd rather have offensive minded and hire a good defensive coordinator. But I don't. People say, well, you can hire a good defensive head coach and good out. Nope. Give me the head coach because I know that the head coach is going to stay with the team longer than an offensive coordinator. So give me the head coach as an offensive coordinator combined over
like Andy Reid.
Coordinator.
Andy Reid has it made because their defensive coordinator Spazzola.
Yeah,
we call him Spazzola because he was a horrible head coach. He was so bad at being a head coach that he never wants to do it again.
No.
So they don't have to worry about anyone offering him a job. So he has a perfect situation.
He knows his lane, which is smart.
He knows his lane, and it's really good at defense. So
remember,
Andy Reid has an advantage.
I keep forgetting the head coach that was for the Chargers and the Raiders. He's the one that introduced Troy Aikman to the Hall of Fame. He was his quarterback coach in Dallas during that time. He was even the Niners head coach when we drafted Alex Smith. I can't think of his name, but my point is terrible head coach, great offensive caller. And sometimes you have coaches like that. They're not good. Or they get questioned in their whole, because as a head coach, you gotta know everything that's going on the defense, special teams, staff, and this and that. And when you're just a positional coach, you just focus on your position, and you can do so much more. And so that's the same thing with what you were talking about. He was, didn't he ever coach the Rams at one time, Spanola?
Yeah, he was with the St. Louis Rams, and he was horrible as a head coach.
Oh,
that's why I say that.
Guys.
Yeah, and
okay. I thought he was a defensive
so that's why he never wants to do it again. So Andy Reid's got an advantage because they don't have to worry about nobody offering him a head coaching job.
But I definitely take him as a defensive coordinator. Oh
yeah.
My goodness.
Bill Belichick is the one guy in the chat there. Round 2024 champs is the one guy that is the defensive coach that can win Super Bowls too. But he also had Tom Brady after Tom Brady left.
Yes. No. I still wouldn't take Belichick. Not as a.
He was still good, but not as good as he was with Tom Brady because he was good with the Browns and didn't do that a lot though. But yeah.
No, I stick
Buddy
with
Ryan.
I don't care who you are. Give me an offense genius over a great defensive coach anytime. And I love defense. I love defense. I love low scoring games. I love those scores that are baseball, 7-3. I know that a lot of people call that boring because they love, like the game against you guys, the Buffalo Bills and you guys. How many points you guys put together? Like over 90 points?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
40, 86
points amongst you two. That says a lot about the defenses, but it's crazy. And somebody that loves offense will love that every day. To me, as a fan, that was a bad game because I love defense. And I'm not just saying because it's the Rams. I'm talking about I don't care what the team. Because defense just couldn't do anything. I love defensive stops. I love turnovers. I love when defenses take control of the offense. I'm a defensive guy. I've always been, but that game is crazy. I haven't seen it. I'm probably going to see it tomorrow or tonight because I have that NFL network where I can watch every game, or I can watch
Sean
in
McVay.
80 minutes.
Sean McVay was in his bag, but though he's harking back to when he used to do jet sweeps, with Jared Goff, and the way that he used Puka Nacua, all around the he's
I love
Puka
Sean
Nacua's
McVay, bro.
Puka Nacua's wide receiver 1A now. Now that Cooper Kupp is coming off injury and he slowed down a little bit, we're kind of trying to bring him along for the playoffs. He's still a threat and he still does his thing, but we ride Puka Nacua because he's the younger horse. And so,
and what a horse! He's a thoroughbred, bro. That guy,
the guy's amazing. And then he did that Michael Jackson toe tap on the sidelines, man, with the heels up. I don't know if you watch that game, Cooper Kupp is known for sideline catches, diving like this, with your hands out.
Yeah,
that was Puka Nacua doing his best Cooper Kupp impression on the sidelines, and there was a guy draped all over him. You got to see that catch, man,
bro. Whenever you do lose a Cooper Kupp to retirement or whatever, it sucks that you're not going to have both, and two are always better. But with the way Puka Nacua has been playing, it's going to get better, and it softens the blow of losing a great person like Cooper Kupp.
That's why there was rumors that we're going to try to get a value for Cooper Kupp now that we have Puka Nacua, and it's just barely starting. That they're both healthy, and we just barely are getting some reward for having them on the field.
You keep them both.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, well then let's go get Jamar Chase then.
Yeah,
or T Higgins.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, and it's hard for me because you guys are Ram fans, but Cooper Kupp healthy and Puka Nacua healthy, you don't need Chase and Higgins, bro.
No.
You don't.
I'm saying if they got rid of Kupp.
I got you generally, but you're not in a bad spot with these two guys if they're healthy. The key thing is healthiness, but these guys are great and they feed off each other. And then you got, people may hate Matthew. I always love Matthew Stafford. Don't like him right now because he's with the Rams. But I do value him. I love him as a player. What he endured in Detroit, the way he took hits and stood up and played football, kept his mouth shut. I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. He won a Super Bowl with you guys. And I'm happy for Jared Goff. He's playing good football in Detroit. And this might be the year where he gets his Super Bowl.
And I root for him. It was unfortunate. We thought he was Brock Purdy before Brock Purdy because he came off of Fisher being the head coach was a train wreck.
Oh my God, that guy's pathetic.
Sean McVay, was the quarterback whisperer for golf. They were making a lot about, he tells them what to do in the first 15 seconds in the helmet. Remember they were saying that. And then he slowly started to progress, but he hit a plateau where he wasn't getting better. And Aaron Donald's contract was coming up. Bill Witt was about to retire. Stafford became available. So Sean McVay said, you know what? We have a guy that's ready to go. And Sean he loves Jared Goff, but when you get a chance to have a quarterback like Stafford, he was the difference in the Super Bowl, and so I'm glad that Goff is playing well, but he hit a plateau and he wasn't getting better, and we couldn't wait for him. So luckily Matthew Stafford became available because we could just be contenders this whole time and not have broken through. So we'll see if he's able to break through with the Lions. So I still root for him. I hope he does good. But they did the right choice getting Stafford.
Yeah. Kyle got he was still sleeping, bro. That's why you have to get up at 5 a.m. instead of 7 to get a. I always loved McVay. I do. I love McVay. I know me and you had heated arguments about who's better, Kyle or McVay. And I'll be honest, there are days that I'll sit there and argue until I'm red in the face that Kyle's better. And there are days where I'm like, I don't know, maybe I would take McVay over Kyle. Because Kyle doesn't like to play rookies as much. He's not confident in rookies. He sticks to a lot with the vets, and I noticed like with McVay, he plays and he has faith in his rookies, and he uses his
Mhm.
rookie, and I like that. But they're both great coaches.
Yeah.
Now we can sit there and say they suck in this if we want to play the suck game because we don't like each other's team, but they're both great coaches. And the Niner fans that want Kyle fired, bro, I can't believe what my ears, bro. It's like, he sucks. He can't win a Super Bowl. Fire him. You know that there are other teams that will fire their head coach right now just to hire Kyle.
Yeah,
And
they were saying trade him for a first round pick.
yeah, trade him for. I mean, it's like, listen, and then Niner fans get mad when the callers whiners. Stop whining. You know what I mean? It's like, take the good and the ugly and the bad. We've been to 4 championship games.
Yep.
2 Super Bowl appearances. Yes, we lost. It sucks that we lost. And I can argue this with anybody until the day I die. Our best window to win a championship, and this is hard for me to say, was when we played you guys in the championship. We would have beat you guys as we should have, but it didn't happen. It is what it is, and I give winning. But Cincinnati wasn't strong, and I'm not saying you guys won because Cincinnati was hurt, but they were hurt. Their offensive line,
Yeah,
was
their offensive
bad.
line.
and you guys did what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat a team that is not playing well, so you did your part. And I think the Niners would have won. We would have did our part as well. We
But
would have
honestly,
beaten-
too, Beto, like I think if Kansas City would have won, we would have still beat them too, because Matthew Stafford. Well, actually, let me say it this way:
I don't know about that. Bro.
if OBJ didn't get hurt and we played Kansas City Chiefs, I think because he was, how he was rolling in the Super Bowl and he got hurt. If OBJ didn't get hurt and we were playing the Chiefs, I think we could have beat them. But with OBJ hurt and then playing Mahomes, you're
See,
right. With
you guys
maybe
played
it would
the
have been
Chiefs
different.
in the regular season, right?
Yeah.
You guys have never played
Whoa,
them in
Jared
the
Goff.
playoffs. Well, no, you can't.
No,
in the Super Bowl.
no, you can't. The
So-
Super Bowl, have to be the
so-
Super Bowl.
The Kansas, and again, I'm not saying you can't beat them. I'm not saying that. Anything you get to the Super Bowl, anything's possible. For me to sit there and go, no, the Chiefs would have won.
Well, I'm going
fucking
by.
outside of my ass.
I'm going by you guys when you guys played them in 2019, and it was a good game. You guys were leading the whole way, and they
Yeah,
came
into
back.
the fourth quarter.
Remember, we
got to play in
had
the fourth quarter though.
we had Aaron Donald, we had Von Miller, we had Jalen Ramsey. You had all those guys. Now we have Matthew Stafford. Who we'll never know, but
Yeah, but the Chiefs play a different type of football in playoffs.
Yeah,
They are Patrick Mahomes. As much as people hate him and whatever, that dude, like this guy pulls rabbits out of
I
his
like
ass.
him. I
Dude,
like
he
him. I
was
like Patrick
depleted
Mahomes.
last year, and he went into Buffalo and beat Buffalo. Buffalo was like, was it Buffalo? No, the Ravens. Excuse me.
The Ravens.
The
yeah.
Ravens were like, they're going to win it all. And the way they were dominating everybody, and they went there and kicked the Ravens out. I mean,
Yeah.
you can never count out a team. I tell the Niner fans this all the time. Our bad luck is that we got to play the damn Chiefs twice. It's like, are you kidding me? Every when I was in the 80s, bro, when we were spoiled and we won our 5 Super Bowls, and I used to say, I can't imagine, and this is going to bite me in the ass, and it has already. I cannot imagine being a Cincinnati fan. And my friends would be like, why? They played us twice in Super Bowls, and they both lost with different quarterbacks, different
Yeah.
coaches, right? Talking my shit. Now I know how they felt.
Yeah. Well,
know,
we
I
have the
know-
same thing. We have the same thing with Tom Brady. Tom Brady took away 2 of our Super Bowls, beating us in the Greatest Show on Turf with the Spygate and all that shit when they were
Yeah,
not calling
yeah.
holding, and then 2018 when Cooper Kupp wasn't there and Jared Goff crapped the bed in the Super Bowl and was late on 2 big throws that would have gave us 2 touchdowns. And but
you guys
Yep.
know about stealing too. You guys stole that Super Bowl away from the Titans, bro. Come on.
oh
Yeah, look at you laugh.
They-
You know
they
those
were
calls-
lucky
you
to
know
be
those
that
calls
close.
was for you guys, not against you.
they were lucky to be that close against the Greatest Show on Turf. How dare they?
Ándale, pues.
How
Ándale,
dare
pues.
they?
How dare they? You know you were sitting at the edge of your seat.
You know that Jeff Fisher's not going to win the Super Bowl.
No, and we know that for sure. Yeah, bro, he's not even going to win it. They fired him from what do they call that? Those football teams out there that They're
The
all
XFL.
the backups. Yeah, he got fired from them, bro. I mean, you
I
get
mean,
fired from the backups, bro. Come on.
I would pick Jeff Fisher to build my defense and draft
Yeah.
my guys, but not a head coach. He's like Kyle Shanahan. No, not Kyle Shanahan. Mike Martz and Spazzola trying to be head coaches because they're great minds in certain what they do, but they're not good head coaches. And so Fisher.
Who would you rather take, bro? Jeff Fisher or Mike Flores as your defensive coordinator?
Ooh, well, I like my favorite defensive coordinator right now is the guy that looks like you want to sock him in his jaw. The Browns coordinator, the guy that has good luck against Kyle Shanahan. What the hell's
yeah,
the Schwartz?
Thank you for throwing the netto snob. I saw how you did that, bro. But yeah,
No,
whatever.
but I had originally said that I wanted him to be our defensive coordinator because he's played so good against Kyle Shanahan. But what's his name? Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz.
He's a pain in the ass, but he's a good defensive coordinator. I like him. Besides Spazzola as defensive coordinator.
Can you imagine having McVay as your head coach and your offensive coordinator, and then having what's his name? We just mentioned his name. I forgot. Mr. 6-time Super Bowl.
Belichick
as your defensive coordinator. You know that we tried to get him as a coordinator. And he put. I knew that was not going to happen, bro. But
well, he wants the whole enchilada. He wants to be in charge.
Can you blame him, bro? You're like you eat 5-course meal and then you're going to settle to eat chicken soup again? No. Come on,
look,
bro.
like he has 6 Super Bowl rings, right? 6.
Yes.
And then you want him to play under a guy that can't win it.
Oh,
that's not going to work.
Another jab. Íralo, órale pues.
No, but it's true though. The way me and you look at things, you're like if you were Bill Belichick and you said, "Hey, you want to work under me? You want to work under me?"
Kiss my ass, Rudy.
Kyle could go like this. Here, Bill. The fourth quarter comes. You take over.
You win one Super Bowl. Andale. You won one, lost one.
No, but no, I'm just saying. I just think he wants the whole enchilada because he wants to take credit for the whole thing.
Yeah, of course. But come on, let's be honest. Any good coach has an ego.
But honestly, he's dumb though because the Niners have been loaded on offense. Kyle Shanahan gets them to the championship and Super Bowl, and then he can clean it up and get another ring, and he showed Brady that he can win without Brady.
No,
but
not like that,
he doesn't think like that. No, but look at this is what he can go like this though. Look, my feelings are hurt. I'm going to take more money. You're going to make me the highest paid ever defensive coordinator.
Oh, and the Niners would have done it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it probably would have bit us in the ass with all the injuries.
But who knows? Maybe football's passed him by.
I remember Niner fans were talking the offseason. Oh my God, if we get Belichick, I'm like, bro, I'll bet. I go if Belichick becomes the defensive coordinator, I will sit there and lose. I'll come live naked and scare everybody off the damn screen.
You know what's weird is Bill Belichick was defensive coordinator of the New York Giants. The New York Giants when they had LT and all those guys, Carl Banks, remember back in the day?
Yeah.
They had the Niners number with Joe Montana and everybody. They knocked out Joe Montana in the playoffs.
The Giants, yeah.
Jim Everett owned them. Jim Everett once threw 11 passes and 5 of them went for touchdowns at New York. Yes, it's just weird how the teams.
It is like that. Though. It's still still today though.
It's just weird. And then I saw the greatest show on turf. Kurt Warner shit the bed in a couple of plays and threw a picks against Bill Belichick and the Patriots. That cost us the Super Bowl. I was like, damn it! If that was Jim Everett, we would have won that damn Super Bowl.
I mean, think about it. As great as Tom Brady and Belichick were, they lost 2 Super Bowls to Eli Manning. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Not Peyton Manning. Eli Manning.
That makes the world.
Balanced.
Balanced, yeah.
Yeah. You got the best quarterback of all times with 7 Super Bowl rings. You got the best coach, and they lose to Eli Manning.
Did you see the post on Twitter of him
Twice.
and Brady? So Tom Brady has a fish that years later now he's fishing and he has a fish like this, right? Like say it's this size, right? Good size, a fish. And then they show up a post of later on of Eli Manning with a fish like this. And somebody goes, man, Eli won't let him live.
Nope. Hey, bro.
Even in fishing.
He's like, I may not get the gold jacket, but I got the 2 rings.
You see these 2 rings? I only wear these 2 rings. Are the ones that I beat Brady.
One in each middle finger. Towards Tom
And then
Brady.
he laughs at Peyton all the times he lost to Brady.
Yeah, bro. See, go figure. Peyton Manning is better quarterback. I don't care if people want to argue or not. He couldn't beat.
He ran the
Tom
whole
Brady.
show.
And then your little brother, who's not that great, beat him in the biggest game of football in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like
That's why football is so amazing, man. I mean, look at Aber with the Chargers. He's a top talent, but he doesn't have 1 fourth quarter comeback in
Who's
his
that? I'm
career. Herbert with the Chargers.
Oh, Herbert. Yeah.
He doesn't have
Herbert's
1 fourth quarter
overrated,
comeback.
bro.
But he's a great talent though. But he doesn't have 1 fourth quarter comeback.
He's going to get better with the best thing the Chargers could have done is hiring Harbaugh.
Yeah, Harbaugh takes the ball out of his hands and no, PP, you're gonna mess up right here. Hand the ball.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because the other one that he was your defensive coordinator. Remember, he's with us now. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
He was like whatever Herbert wants. He was kind of scared to.
Yeah.
And Harbaugh's like, nah, I'll get rid of you. I don't care if you're.
I was kidding Rombo when you guys brought him in as a coordinator or something, like a supervisor or something.
Yeah, kind of like a backup.
Yeah, and I go, well, and I think I told Rombo, well, we won the Super Bowl after we got rid of him.
Yeah, Rambo.
He wasn't our coordinator.
I see you and Rambo go. I don't listen to Rambo. Hey, Rambo, more power to him. He does his thing great for dudes. I like the dude. I mean, the guy's cool. I just don't.
No, he's a good guy. He's a Laker fan too.
I honestly, what is it that I don't like about his show is I don't like the people that come onto the show. They got him really racist and they get crazy and it's like
he lets a lot of stuff and the fake imposter of me go in there and stay in there. And I told him about it. He doesn't do nothing about it.
Yeah. So it's like
he even thought that I was. He even thought that I was in there under somebody else's name, and he was saying, "Oh, Rudy, I know that's you." I go, "Knucklehead, I'm not going to do that. Why would I go in there under somebody else's name?" Yeah,
we know. Yeah, bro. I figure out who uses your name, bro, and it's like I stopped. Remember that one time I blocked. I told myself, okay, I know I text you, so I knew it wasn't you, so I blocked him. Right? I'm like, cool. I block him. I don't have to worry about this individual no more. Well, because he uses the same exact name, which is YouTube stupid, it actually blocked you too, remember? So
yeah. So I think
couldn't see nothing of your
Jay,
because
I think the same thing happened to Jay in the Bay. I haven't gone in there in a while, but I think he blocked me because of that guy. And so I haven't. And
it blocks the original name as well. So it's like
stupid.
And that's you know what? I'll put that on YouTube, bro. If you're a content creator and you built your own name, they should honor that name for you.
Well, they could get sued. They could get sued because look, say a Grant Cohn with a big following, right?
Yeah.
And somebody goes in there and they're having a conversation, and I say him because he's works for something. He's got a giant following, right? Somebody can be having a conversation with him, thinking it's him, like me, like they do with me, and it's not them. So that's a problem for YouTube to fix. That's a security problem that they allow.
Yeah,
so
imagine if that person makes a threat under your name.
Yeah. So
and they think
they're waiting to get sued. I mean, when I get my first $1 million from them, Beto, we'll go to the fucking Super Bowl.
Knowing you, bro, as a Rams fan, you'll just let me look through the window.
No, I would have you right there. I would say, I'll bring you, but you're gonna wear an Aaron Donald jersey.
No, I don't think so, bro. I like Aaron Donald, but no. I'd rather wear his wife, but not the jersey. Orale.
Okay, so give me your keys to the game, Beto. Give me your keys to the game.
Keys of the game. Kidnap Matthew Stafford. Don't let him play. No. Keys of the game. Honestly, put pressure on Matthew Stafford. Stop the run and run the ball. I know it's cliche, but it is the truth, man. Stop the quarterback, run the ball, and stop the run. If we can do that, or let me rephrase it, the team that does it better than the other team is going to be the one coming out with a W in my mind.
And for us, the O-line has to give Matthew Stafford time to operate, and give Kyrie Williams and Blake Corum lanes to run to get the passing game going. If it's bad weather, that'll cut down on some of the passing, but also Kyrie Williams cannot put the ball on the carpet, because this year there's been a couple of games where he's put the ball on the carpet in the
That's
wrong
fine.
time
We'll
against the
be okay
Eagles.
with it.
Against the Eagles, Beto, we were going all the way up the field.
I saw
and
that
we were
game,
about to
yeah.
score 7, and he fumbled the ball, and that killed us, because we could have possibly went up 14-3. And now it's a different game, but so we can't have that. And then on defense, plus we have to get. You were talking about Tutu. We have to get Tutu throw the ball to him early to keep him focused and ready to play, because he tends to space out and then they don't use him. So they need to get him, and that clears up everything underneath for Puka. And then on defense, no stupid gaffes in the secondary or penalties, allowing big plays. Watch Kittle up the middle, sneaking out, and spy Omar Spates. Spy Brock Purdy when he scrambles, and it's like a 3rd and 8, and he'll move around and then just try to run for 12 yards. If we can do that and we can score 7, it makes it a little tougher for the Niners. We should be okay, but that's my. And also, if we have to kick field goals, Josh Carty's been struggling as of late.
Don't talk about kickers,
he fell
bro.
on his ass and missed the extra
At least
point.
you didn't use a 3rd round pick on a kicker. Whatever. But real quick, to Rams 24 champs. I'll bet you $100 right now that CMC will not fumble in this game. And if you don't think I have money, if you don't think I have money,
let me put up my cash app to you real quick.
So there it is, baby. So if you want 50s, if you don't have 100, I'll bet you a 50. Whatever it is, CMC will not fumble in this game.
Real quick, Beto, do you want the Niners? What kind of contract would you give the Niners? Would you give Brock Purdy if you were the Niners? If you were John Lynch, would you just extend him for a year at $30 million and say you got to play again because this season was
give him
injury
the
rhythm?
value of the market.
So you would give him the 50, 60, whatever, probably 55,
70 if that's what
70.
the value is.
Híjole
Yes.
de madre. Juan Soto.
Let me ask you a question. To any Niner fan that disagree, okay, you don't give him 70 if that's the market. Now the Niners have a good relationship. Brock
Going
Purdy's a
rate.
different animal. He's not that greedy. I'm pretty sure the Niners and Brock they're going to work something out that helps both of them, that takes care of and makes both parties happy. They restructured Javon Hargrave's contract today. They dropped his salary cap against the salary from $29.9 million to $2.9.
Did they extend him, or they did add years to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they structured his contract.
They
I forgot how
structured it.
they did
Okay.
it.
Yeah, they did like
but they
AD.
didn't
They did
extend him.
AD.
Yeah,
But they did like the Rams did AD.
They can even
yeah.
cut him and post June 1st. It's not going to hurt us. He helped us. Those are the type of contracts that those players have to agree on. But but the one thing about the Niners organization, whether people love the Niners or not, I'm pretty sure the Rams are the same way with your players. We have a good history with our players. We take care of our own really well. That's why when I see Debo crying about a contract, I see it's like, shut up, guys. You guys are going to get paid. They paid Kittle. They paid Fred Warner. They paid Bosa. They'll pay their players. So they'll play Brock. Now, people say, well, he's not worth 70 if that's the going market, right? I think that's
going market.
Listen to me, Rudy.
Yeah.
I could be 100% wrong, but I believe the Niners are smart enough as soon as the season over, because right now they can't approach him because of the contract.
Yeah.
As soon as the season's over, whether the Niners make the playoffs or not. Now, if they don't make the playoffs, they can focus even more on this. If they do make the playoffs, they're still going to try to extend them before the playoffs are even up, before the Super Bowl.
But let's say they wanted to be a-holes and said, you know what, man, We'll get to you later on in the season next year.
But
He still has one more year, right? He
yes,
still has
but
one more
that
year.
and what happens if he has an MVP?
I mean, it's not a smart move. Like it's like
No.
what happened with Dak Prescott. They
No,
kicked the
yes.
can down the road, but they could still do that, right? He's still under contract.
No, they could. But Brock Purdy, again, and I know we're coming close to the conclusion of the show. Brock Purdy is not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes, but he's a damn good, above average quarterback that can win games and tight situations. You're going to have to pay him the value.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterback. Look at the quarterback they got paid a lot of money in Jacksonville, and he's not that good. If I told you who's better, him or
I don't like him. I don't like the
or
Jaguars
Brock Purdy.
quarterback. I don't like him, dude.
Would you take Brock Purdy over him?
Yeah, I would.
See,
I would.
So the point is,
I would because the guy doesn't seem like he has it, man. He's got all the tools.
No, he was
The
great
Jaguars
at Clemson, but that's about it. And the thing is, if you don't pay Brock Purdy, for the Niner fans that are listening, because he's not the Patrick Mahomes, he's not. Who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to go? You're going to take a chance in drafting someone, and then you're going to run through the carousel of quarterbacks all over again, trying to find a decent quarterback. Are you going to try to go out and get yourself a polished one? Now that's an area they can go, but who are they going to get that is free this offseason?
Cousins, 50-year-old Cousins.
Shut up, Cousins.
Look
at Sam Donald is playing better than Cousins.
Kyle Shanahan is flirting with them.
Oh, I hope not. And listen, if Cousin comes, then I want Kyle fired. I'll be the first one. Kyle, get out of here. And
one
then
thing
we'll
I want,
kidnap McVay.
One thing I want to bring
What's
up
up,
too is I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this, Beto, but the Jimmy Garoppolo got a game ball a couple games back from shot. Yeah, I was laughing too. But check this out. I wanted Carson Wentz back as our backup quarterback, right? I wanted him back, right? They let the Kansas City Chiefs have him. I said, what the hell are we doing? We got Jimmy Garoppolo. I wasn't a big fan of that. What's happening is, you know how we would play you guys? You guys saw that little short pass over the middle to Kittle or Debo. What he's doing is he's working with the second team unit in the practice squads against the first team, and he's teaching the Rams defense what the Niners like to do.
Of course,
because the Niners. So that's actually a smart move. And this is what they have film on it anyway. But he also has rapport talking to Jimmy Garoppolo and what Kyle Shanahan would like to do on this or that. They have film on it, but it's nice to have a quarterback that's good at those plays, those over the middle, that's a pain in our ass. And so that's what they're doing.
The only difference, though, is that Brock Purdy doesn't throw interceptions. Garoppolo does.
No, he does. But I'm just saying to get your...
He can throw as many interceptions as he wants. Brock's not doing it.
But to get the team ready for those plays, though, in spaces. So, but I love Wentz, man. I wish we would have kept him, but it is what it is. But I see what they were trying to do
with all
with
the
that.
information that Garoppolo provides you against us. You still wouldn't have taken him over Wentz.
No, I like Wentz, but I understand because I was wondering why they did that, right? Yeah. So now I see, because they see that weakness that the Rams would give up those.
But
gash
those are just
two
games.
They still have it. Well, it's not just them. They still give those gash plays up the middle. They still do because our linebackers aren't that good, except for Spates.
God forbid, and I'm not saying, and I'm not even hoping this happens, but God forbid Matthew goes down. You had Wentz or you have Garoppolo. You really feel comfortable with Garoppolo?
Wentz. Well, I feel comfortable with him taking over for a game or two, to run the offense. I think he'll be okay. With Koopa and Puka Nakua, Tyler Tutu Atwell, our running game, our offensive line, he'd be fine.
We beat the
I'd rather have
Packers
Carson
in 2019
Wentz.
championship game, bro. And Garoppolo only threw 8 passes.
Well, look at the way he played against us, though. We had AD and Ramsey and Leonard Floyd. He would always play good against us. So, but I think with McVay,
I'm sorry not to interrupt you, only because you reminded me. I'm hoping he had a great game against the Chicago Bears. Drafted Floyd. He had 2 sacks against the Bears.
He's good.
I'm hoping he against the Rams. Playing teams that you don't play for. He has a good game. I'm not super excited about Leonard Floyd. He has 8.5 sacks now. He looks like he might hit that 10 mark.
Yeah,
which
he's
we
good.
brought him in.
He's just older now. That he
Yeah.
just kind of picks his his spots.
Yeah, and I hope we go with youth in that. But I love Wentz kind of careless with
Yeah,
the
I
ball
like
too,
him.
though. That's one thing
Yeah.
about Wentz. He's careless with the ball. But hey, if you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Wentz as a backup, he might get a ring. And I hope.
Oh,
that
that's
the
right.
Chiefs don't get, because they'll be the first team to treat me. The Niners were. I don't care if you hate the Niners. Who hates the Niners? The Niners were the closest team ever to get 3 rings, and we Taylor, not John Taylor, the linebacker for the Giants. What was his name? The little girl rapist.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a linebacker for the Giants back when Joe Montana
I
played.
don't remember.
Yeah, you do.
Carson Banks.
No, the linebacker of the Giants, bro. Come on, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Carson. Isn't it Carson
he
Banks?
He used to have
is
the
one.
earring hanging. Anybody in the chat?
Oh, LT, the defensive end. Yeah.
Yeah. He. That's what they caught him with a little 14-year-old. That's why I always call him the little child molester.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was paying a 14-year-old, but she was undercover. Pendejo.
Jeez.
Taylor. Yeah, guys, Taylor. But he caused Roger Craig to fumble, and all we were trying to do is kill the clock a little bit to kick the field goal and go to our 3rd Super Bowl. And he
was a
caused
beast.
a fumble and recovered it on that one play, bro. I hated 2 players that day. I hated Lawrence Taylor, and I hated Roger Craig for both of those.
For fumbling.
For fumbling, yeah, bro. I mean, I think I cursed that God like a pendejo. I got rid of all my Niners stuff and bought Raider stuff for about 30 minutes.
Oh,
and I didn't even make it out of the mall halfway there when I ripped up the Raider stuff. But sadly, I lost a lot of my good antique stuff because that game was so hurtful, bro. I don't get emotional like that anymore. I used to get into bar fights because of games. I don't do that no more. Now it's like
it's not worth it.
I'm not going to jail for a team that don't even know I exist.
Well, I remember I was mad like that with two times when the Rams went to St. Louis, and because of the woman who shall be nameless, and then when the Rams traded Jim Everett, and we had T.J. Rubley and shit were running around, and Ground Chuck was, that great offense with Ellard and Flipper Anderson, and they got rid of Jim Everett, and he went to the Saints, and the Saints had depleted their team. They weren't even that good anymore.
What was the name of that lady again? That stupid lady?
The woman who shall be nameless. Georgia.
She's not naming us no more. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, we always said when she passed,
terrible,
when she passed, well, never mind.
The only reason why people don't realize, a lot of the Ram fans that are young, that love the Rams, don't even know. The only reason why she became the owner because her husband died.
Yeah, she died. He died. You know what sucks? And as good as the Niners were, it would have been wonderful to see if Carol Rosenblum, her husband, who had took over the Rams, he actually traded the Colts franchise for the Rams, and they had won 2 Super Bowls with the Colts. The year they went to the Super Bowl and played the Steelers, that's when he drowned, supposedly, and then she took over. But it would have been neat to see Carol Rosenblum, who's like a Stan Kroenke who wanted to win Super Bowls, versus Eddie DeBartolo Jr. in the 80s, instead of the woman who shall be nameless and who never would get the guys over the hump with getting a player or two.
She was terrible, bro.
They even Jackie Slater sat out, to give you an idea of how kind of an owner she was. Even he had to sit out. So
as bad as she was, she's still better than John York.
Well, what happened though was when they went to St. Louis, now they had to play players. They get asses in the seats. Now they had to get Marshall Falk, and
she was all about saving money, not really.
Yeah, now they had to pay players, and look what happened. They won the Super Bowl, and they had all them draft picks that they were sorry over years. Rich Brooks was the head coach, shit like that. We got all them draft picks and cashed them in.
I always tell
but
people
they still left rings on the table.
For Jerry Jones being a cheap bastard now that he's older, that when he was younger, he played his players' money. One thing about he took care of his players in the 80s and 90s. He, the best, listen, the Niners would have had more than 5 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Dallas. And Dallas wouldn't have been as good if it wasn't for Minnesota. Do you know why I say that? Rudy, do you know why I say I blame Minnesota
No.
for the Herschel Walker
Oh,
trade?
the Herschel Walker. Yeah, the
Okay, if that Herschel Walker trade did not happen and gave all those picks to the Cowboys for 3 years, they wouldn't have the players they got.
I remember Herschel Walker. They would
And
they
he
would
didn't do shit for Minnesota.
he would tiptoe and then take off. But
Yep.
but with the Vikings, he would tiptoe and tiptoe. They tackle him.
Yep. Yeah,
That was the worst trade ever.
bro. I'm talking. People want to blame the Saints for giving up all the draft picks for the running back Ricky Jackson, or whatever his name is.
The Marijuano.
Marijuano, yeah, that was dumb. But Cowboys, that Herschel Walker, to me personally, has to go down as the worst trade ever.
I blame him because he didn't do nothing with the Vikings. Now, when the woman who shall be nameless and her henchman GM John Shaw traded Eric Dickerson, we didn't get that big a haul because they learned their lesson from the Herschel Walker trade. Even though Eric Dickerson's head and shoulders above anything Herschel Walker did, that's why that's the second worst trade ever is to get rid of Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, real quick before we get out of here, great show by the way. Give me two, one on offense and one on defense. The best player ever to put on a Rams uniform on offense and defense.
Ooh.
The best player ever. Don't give me the half A and half B. That's just, you can only name one offensive player and one defense. For you. Because obviously every fan has their different. And I'll do the same for you. I'm going to give you two.
I'll say this: the most dominating offensive player I've ever seen was it's very close, but I'll have to go with Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson took the Rams on his back to the championship game in '85 with a Canadian quarterback named Dieter Brock, 5'11", old guy quarterback. And then on defense, woo.
That's a good one there, Jack 42.
Yeah. On defense, it was Jack Youngblood before Aaron Donald came along for me because
I'm old school too, bro.
I didn't see Rosie Greer and all them, but the John Wayne and Cleats thing with the playing with the fractured ankle and against the Steelers in the Super Bowl, the Jack Youngblood. So as him aside, because I remember him as a kid, AD as the next guy. Yeah.
For me, defense, great choices, by the way. For me, and everybody in the comments, name your players as well. For me, on defense, and it has and always will be Ronnie Lott. The guy was a beast. And offense, it was Jerry Rice, the GOAT, as a receiver, man. And I know a lot of Niner fans don't like me when I say this, and I love both quarterbacks. I love Joe Montana. I love Stevie Young. But people always ask me if I had to choose one quarterback to watch play, even if I chose Young, I would have to give up on 4 Super Bowls that Montana won. I would still pick Steve Young because of the way he played.
Yeah,
the type of football he played. You know, and I don't like to say who's better than who because they're, as long as they wore a Niner uniform, they're all great in their individuality. But who did I enjoy watching and play better was Steve Young. But you can never say you can never go wrong watching the comebacks of Joe Montana in the 2 minute. Joe Cool in the last 2 minutes. That guy was a surgeon.
And you know what? And it's funny that you remember the game when they traded him to the Kansas City Chiefs, Joe Montana, and then they played the Niners, and then Joe Montana did a comeback against the Niners and Steve Young.
Me too. Yeah.
I was like,
it hurt, but the reason it hurt. Now it didn't hurt as much as getting our ass kicked by the Eagles that year.
Yeah,
40-8. But it was the year that we won the Super Bowl, so it kind of took the sting out of it.
What I remember about that year too is he beat you guys on the comeback against Steve Young too, and he wanted that game so bad, right? Because they traded him, and then the Rams handed Joe Montana his first ever shutout as a professional football player. The Rams went to Kansas City and shut him out 16-0.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because they kept going for it on 4th down, and the defense said, "How dare you go for it on 4th down?" And they wouldn't get it. And so that was one of I remember that season. And for those two reasons, that the Rams, who struggling that year, shut out Joe Montana, had him as first ever shutout as a pro. And then he beat the Niners.
As long as they didn't do it in the Niner uniform, I'm good.
Yeah, but that was a great game. I remember against Elway too. He did the same thing. He came back against Elway, I think it was, in the corner of the top of the end zone. I think he came back
I
against
lost
them
some
too.
friends, bro, back in that time when we played the Chiefs in week 2. Now we didn't know. Now we know, but we didn't know that year that we were going to win the Super Bowl. But people told me, who you going for, Joe Montana or Steve Young? I'm like, which team does Joe Montana play? The Chiefs. Which team does Steve Young play? The Niners. I'm supporting the logo. Come on. I mean,
yeah. Well, you're like I'm rooting for my team, but I'm watching my. I still I'm looking at my rooting for Joe Montana when he's not
if
playing
Joe
the
Montana
Niners.
kills us, I'm not going to be mad at it. I want my team to win. Now, to me, I got both. To me personally, I got both the best of both worlds. I got to see Joe Montana kind of took his vengeance on the Niners, and good for him. And then I got to see Steve Young win his first Super Bowl. So, that year was a good year for both of you. Now, if we didn't win a Super Bowl, that would have been a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I want to give a shout out too, real quick. I was just thinking about it. We used to have Taylor Rapp, defensive back. He won a Super Bowl with us.
He's playing good.
Yeah, he wasn't that guy with us. So, like, when a lot of Niner fans were saying Witherspoon sucks. Last year when he was playing good with us.
Sometimes you need a new environment.
That's what you remember. Yeah, he stopped Kyren Williams and Blake Corum from going to the house with some last second block tackles, and it wasn't that he tackled him real hard. He tripped him up, but he wasn't doing that for us. So I just want to give him a shout out because he looked really good against us. I'm like, where was that? And that was Taylor Rapp, number 9.
He's with Buffalo?
The Buffalo Bills, yeah.
Oh, I don't know who he was. I know he was playing for a team. I forgot what team he was playing for.
Yeah, he's playing really good. And I'm like, where was that? Sometimes guys blossom and it takes a different environment, like you said.
Go to a different environment. What it is you learn from the team you were before, the things you did wrong, and you try to fix it on the other team. Look at Von Miller. I mean, no, Von Miller was good with the Broncos, so that's not a good illustration. But they're players that resurrected their career.
Well, Sam Darnold with the Vikings.
Look at Steve Young with the Niners.
Yeah.
When he was a Buccaneer, he was trash.
That's what happens.
That's
the argument I have when they talk about Matthew Stafford and the Lions. I mean, when you're with a bad organization, I mean, they hold you back.
Yeah, an organization that always drafted a receiver no matter what. I mean, Matt Millen got this dude. Great defensive player, but give me a break when it came to general manager. Every year, it was a receiver. Just like the owner of the Raiders, every year, if you can run fast, I'm taking you.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, are you serious? But yeah, a credit real quick to the Detroit Lions for what they have done to that organization. They are playing some good football,
and they took some Rams guys and put them in the front office. That the guy, one of the draft guys, the draft gurus from the Rams, that helped build the teams. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was really good for us drafting, and he's done the same thing for them. So
I hope
I'm
they win
rooting
a Super
for Jared
Bowl
Goff.
because
Me too.
Because the reason why I say this is because Ben Johnson's not going to be there the following year, bro. He can't stay there too long. He might if they lose, depending how far they go this year. If they make it to the Super Bowl and lose in the Super Bowl, I might see him coming back for one more year. But if they don't make the Super Bowl, he's going to have to start his own thing. And I would love to see what's his name get a Super Bowl there. Before I let you go, because this is a myth that I've been hearing. I know you're a dedicated Rams fan. I want to know the truth. Sometimes people say things so many times. By the time it gets to somebody, it's a full-blown lie. Did Sean McVay get rid of your quarterback? I forgot his name right now. The guy with the guy with the Detroit Lions. What's his name?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, because he was flirting with his girlfriend.
No.
Okay, because that's what the rumors going around the Niners camp, that Sean McVay caught him with his girlfriend and was threatened by him, so he got him rid of him.
No, that sounds like a Niner fan. No, I'm just kidding.
No. They didn't
No,
come from a Niner
that's
fan.
no. I'm saying what
It
I
came
said.
from
What
somewhere.
happened was Jared Goff hit a plateau where he was making the same mistakes over and over again, throwing a bad pass against you guys. That's why Mullins would beat us with Todd Gurley and Jared Goff, or the games were close because he would. You had Sulla making him make so many mistakes
So why
over
is he
and over
playing
again
so good in Detroit?
because it's a few years later. Guys get better.
God.
Look at Sam Darnold.
Good answer. No. Good answer. I know. Sam
So the guy
Darnold
that I was
in Minnesota,
yeah,
that's crazy.
the guy that I'm talking about is Brad Holmes. He was director of college scouting for the Rams 2013 2020, and then now he's vice president and general manager of the Lions. So the reason why the Lions are doing good is because that's an old Rams quarterback and that's the Rams GM.
Well, hey, you
Came
can't
from
can't take away from their head coach, bro.
No, the head coach, I like him too. He's gonna bite the ankles and
Yeah,
you're gonna torpedo Higbee's knee.
Hey, it sounded stupid at the beginning when he first had his first conference, but now he's backed it up. I didn't know he was the original tight end for the Detroit Lions back when he played, but that's pretty cool.
But he did blow that game against you guys, going for it on fourth down instead of kicking the field goal.
No, he did exactly what he was supposed to do in that game. Too bad we didn't cash in, for that. That was like, honestly, I was like, God dang,
That was a
nice
crazy
to go
game.
It was nice to go to the Super Bowl. My wife's like, you giving up on your team? I'm like, no, but look at the score. It's hard, and it was
That
not
was a
even the
crazy
score.
game.
It was the way we were playing. Right? You got to take.
Yeah.
And then when they started coming back, I'm like, oh, it's one of those like you're down, and you're like, what?
It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder because Jared Goff has that luck. The Sleprock character from the Flintstones, bad luck Bernie. He has that luck. He's playing good. They're blowing you guys out in the first quarter, and then some bullshit happens. The running back fumbles. The old Rams receiver Reynolds drops a ball that was right there. He could have turned around and got a first down. The ball bounces off a Lions defender helmet and goes right into Ayuk's hands at the goal line. Maybe he's just bad luck.
Listen, there's a Niner fan that I love. He's my boy. I won't mention his name. He's my boy. I love this guy. But we always bump heads when it comes to, he doesn't believe that there's no luck involved in football. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, there's no such thing as luck in football. I'm like, what have you been watching? Luck is everything in football, and particularly in football.
Like, here's an example. You're a wide receiver. You're looking up at the ball. There's a defender in front of you. You come down with it, and your feet just happen to be in bounds. That's lucky sometimes that you didn't step out.
Or you
even
get
though
the
you
ball
were trying.
in your helmet and you beat the Patriots.
Yeah. Or the ball bouncing off the defender's helmet, the Lions last year, and right into Ayuk's hands. What do you call that?
Yeah, if that's not luck, bro, that wasn't a play. People are like Brock Purdy. I'm like, Kyle and Brock Purdy did not make that happen.
100 balls that would never happen again.
Yeah, bro. It's luck that has everything to do with it,
or
bro.
just call it fate then. Okay, forget luck. Just tell them it's fate.
Yeah, they don't. But I tell this: you have to have a great roster, and you have to have luck to win a Super Bowl. Having a great roster is not good enough without luck. You have to look at the, and we'll close with this. Look at the Chiefs last year. They lost the ball. How many times? 8 times. Mm-hmm. And guess how many times they gave it over to the other team? 0.
That's luck.
Okay. And other teams against them lost it a few times, and they never recovered none. I mean, come on. How do you put the ball on the floor 8 times and never lose it once?
Yep.
If that's not right. Luck, I don't know what is, bro. Come on. When a referee calls a play on your behalf, like, remember the Saints? Was it the Saints and who was the Saints playing? Remember, it went against the Saints, and they lost a playoff game, and it was a bad call on the ref, and they went on to the Super Bowl. I think I forgot who it was, but I'm like, dude, if it ain't luck, I don't know. But listen, Rudy, I'm really not shocked, but I really enjoyed tonight. We talked about our teams.
It was cool.
People doing their thing on the comment, whatever. But I had a great time. Listen, before we get out of here, I'm a Niner fan. Always will be a Niner fan. I want my Niners to win on Thursday, but if the Niners can't make it into the playoffs for whatever reason, best of luck with your team, bro. Go out and get yourself another ring if you can get it.
Thank you, brother. I
Just don't
appreciate
do
it.
at our expense.
And I told the Niner fans that the Rams would avenge you. We will avenge you for the Bills for the game before in the snow. So we avenged the Bills for you for
If the Rams
NFC
make
West.
it to the Super Bowl, I want to. If you guys beat the Chiefs, then I'll have a different conversation. But
Well, the NFL, because Beto, forget the Rams for a second. If the Rams can get it together and get to the playoffs, Saquon Barkley is amazing. You know, we have to stop him. Who knows if the Lions can beat him, whoever gets them. But
the Eagles and the Lions are hard to beat this year, bro.
NFL fans deserve either a Mahomes or Josh Allen versus Matthew Stafford in the Super Bowl. NFL fans deserve that. You saw the game this last time. NFL fans deserve a matchup like that because there's no one else in the NFC that can match up to those quarterbacks.
Versus a Jared Goff would be a great Super Bowl.
No, he's mechanical. It's not the same thing.
Of course, because the Ram not in there.
He doesn't have the arm angle. He doesn't have the no look, and he doesn't all that stuff. Mahomes learned all that from the master.
You just said you were rooting for him.
I am rooting for him, but I'm saying
you can't root for him if you don't think he'll win it.
I'm saying it's not the same thing as Matthew Stafford going against those guys.
No, but we've seen Matthew Stafford in Super Bowl already.
Yeah.
And
we want to see him again.
Yeah,
we want to see another no-look pass.
Or I would like to see, what's his name? What's his name? For the Eagles, Hurts win one. That'll be nice for him too.
Well, I want to see the Rams with the Lombardi trophy, and then they hand it off to Jimmy. And then Jimmy goes, Shanahan, this is for you.
Yeah, no. The best, I'll be honest with you. If we don't make the playoffs, the best thing for me is it has to be Detroit, though. If Detroit can knock you guys out, I'll be happy. Because I do like Jerry Goff. I think he's a better quarterback than Stafford.
I root for him. He went through a lot with McVay. Even when he had the success,
you just don't want to be against your team, but
yeah, they were crediting McVay. You know, even when he had the great success, and they were crediting McVay, tells him what to do, all that bullshit. And your coach is supposed to help you. What the hell is that? Your coach is supposed to give you some hints of what to make the team win.
So if your team doesn't make it, who are you going to root for to win? You still rooting for the NFC?
The Lions for sure. The Lions.
So you'll never root for the AFC?
No.
Okay.
Well, wait. Unless they put the Niners.
Oh no!
Like last year.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's where we did differentiate because I want the NFC West to be the best division in the NFL, even if it ain't the Niners leading the charge. I want the West to be the best division, so we can get 2 or 3 playoff teams off the West.
Honestly,
that's what I like.
I was saying if the Niners, I would be happy for Corey Davis and you and friends that I know that are Niner fans. So, but it would have been bittersweet because Corey has seen it from above, in heaven, but he wouldn't have seen it on his TV. But honestly, if they did win, I would have been happy for his family.
There was a friend of mine, a huge Rams fan. Me and him will always go back and forth, and we talked for 2 or 3 years. His dream was to watch the Rams win a Super Bowl. He died a few months when you guys went to the Super Bowl and win it. He died like 3 months before the Super Bowl. And he never got to watch it live. And that was his dream, bro. So I know Niner fans are going to hate me, but when you guys won, for a moment, for him, I was happy. And then I woke up and then I hated it all over again. But for him, I was happy because I knew how much the Rams meant to him. Just like how the Niners are meant to Corey. And you can dislike and hate the Niners, but you appreciate Corey. So for him, even for a minute, and then you're like, damn, they won. That's the way I was. But I value friends more than my team. I value you more than my team. So if my team doesn't make it and your team wins and you get to see a Super Bowl for the first time, I'm not saying you have, but if you have, I'll be happy for you. I mean, there's already too much hate in this world to hate people because of their team. It's like politics, bro. People, and I'm not going to get into politics, but I've heard people say, if you voted for this person or that person, I will never invite him to another Thanksgiving. I'm like, really? Just because you have two different. Anyway, I don't think football and politics should ever be something in between your family. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
people are people. I love you, Rudy. I have
All right,
nothing
brother.
but
Appreciate
the
you.
most respect for you, my friend, and good luck on Thursday. And
Thank you, man.
we'll keep in contact. See
All
what
right.
else. But Kenny's right. F the lambs. But love you, Rudy.
All right, brother. Love you too, brother. Have a
All
good
right,
night. All
peace.
right.
Good night,
Appreciate
everyone.
you guys.
Thank you for tuning
Thank you
in.
everyone for coming in.
Out of here.
Later.
Peace.